Welcome back to my channel, Pisces. Much love and thanks out to my existing subscribers and all those that are new to my channel. I always appreciate your support and your time. So just a quick reminder, these are general readings. It cannot speak to everyone. You're all at different stages of your life with unique situations, so please allow for some variances on the time. You won't all be sharing the same life story. So again, just please allow some flexibility on the time frames. Right now, this period will be from March 1st through to the 15th, but for some of you, it may extend further into March or maybe even in that first week of April, but something in around that time frame. Okay, so again, this is a reading for March 1st to the 15th, and this is for Pisces, career, money, and finance. I will be using the Energy Oracle cards and the Rider-Waite deck. So first out is the card of Cornucopia. So speaking to wish fulfillment, abundance, gifts coming through, wealth, and things like loving your job, having a great love life, being really satisfied, just generally on an emotional front. But it's with things that you're also putting out into the world that you're feeling a certain sense of abundance with as well. So in short, I feel that many of you have really put in some labor towards something that you valued and it's about to pay off. So it was further clarified here by the Three of Cups. So I feel that you're ready to celebrate here for this month. The first oracle cards are more of the general energies, and then I'll get into more of the specifics week to week with the Rider-Waite deck further down. So with the Three of Cups, as I say, I feel that you're ready to celebrate. So there could be a team effort here if it's in relation to a work situation. You would be well supported, and certainly if it's on a social front, for those of you that can connect or celebrate in small groups in terms of your family or however that would resonate for you, this is something that falls within that area as well. So again, there could be a team effort here for some of you because there's a lot of beginnings that are coming through, new beginnings and certainly on the emotional front for you, Pisces, for this first 2 weeks of March. Lots of emotional things to consider. But anyway, outside of that, with the Three of Cups, again, I just feel with that followed up by the two pages, because we've got the Page of Wands and we also have the Page of Pentacles. So for some of you, that could involve small children or people just younger than yourself, or you could be just celebrating with, those that are just more playful spirits, or people that you're just easy, that you laugh easy with, and, that young at heart sort of adage comes to mind. So, but also with the pages, I also feel that there is some good news that's on the horizon for you, or communication coming in around money, or a new course of study here as well with that Page of Pentacles. But either way, I feel that you're finishing up something and you're looking forward to some kind of financial payoff. There is a card of optimism here with the Sun, so definitely something looks bright in terms of where you're headed with this new course of study or with this celebration. But we also have the Four of Cups. So fours are definitely speaking to, balance and that kind of thing. So with the Four of Cups in this position, and certainly as a clarifier to the Cornucopia card, I just feel overall with it's also clarified with the Knight of Pentacles, and then we've got, it just feels to me as though, you are a little disappointed, and it could be around a delay with something relating around money because of the Knight of Pentacles here. But certainly it looks like there is some kind of inspired start or new opportunity that's coming through here. Something that might just help you to feel like you're being put back on the map and you're ignited again here. Or something you're just really passionate about. But it just feels like there is some slow money coming in, or maybe it's slow money that's coming from this inspired new start. But either way, there's some kind of a delay here. And it does seem like it has you a little bit concerned because you are feeling a little emotionally put off by the situation. So we also have the card of hostilities, and that can represent deceit or someone around you that may be excessively critical or demanding, or someone who's making negative comments about you or to you. But either way, you're coming up as defensive and impatient and possibly a little aggressive yourself or short-tempered, or someone around you reflects this energy. So that was clarified with the Knight of Wands. And we also have a Taurus energy with the Hierophant. I'll pull these away so that you can see the cards. And we also have the Queen of Wands. And we also have the Fool card. So that combination of cards to me it does feel like you're dealing with a person as far as the Hierophant. It feels like it definitely is speaking to Taurus type energy is what I suspect. Something, I mean, if we're talking about a person, somebody who's a little more conventional, somebody who's a little more conservative, but it just feels like, or for others, it could also be that you're having some difficulties with an institution or a larger corporation, but again, if it's representing a person, it can just speak to, as I said, somebody conventional and conservative, and, somebody who likes to follow a timeline and tends to be very organized and just orderly all around. So, but again, for others of you, it may represent more of a corporate entity or government or something along that line. But I feel that you may be a little fired up with the Queen of Wands. And I feel that it's almost like there's some kind of tension for sure. Not is it just only coming out with the Oracle cards here with that card of hostility, but we also have other cards further out that I've pulled. And I pre-pulled them just because otherwise my reading will go on for about 4 hours. And unless you've got that kind of time, this is just to expedite things for you. So again, Pisces, I just feel with this combination of cards that there is some kind of hostility or some kind of an issue that may be around government or corporation or a Taurus energy. Someone most likely in your somebody that you're in close contact with, as that I feel is firing you up here, as I say, with the Queen of Wands. So I feel that your best solution is to stay balanced and transition through with a more optimistic approach, to the situation with the Fool card clarifying, or just somehow change the direction or the perspective to improve the situation. Certainly further out, there is a card of Hangman, so there might be some kind of a stalemate, or again, a need to shift your perspective around some conflict, because there is also further out cards that also speak to, in that second week likely, that you're going to have some kind of an issue, Tower moment, and a bit of heartbreak situation that may be erupting here. But anyway, from what I see here, something is building. There's some kind of tension that's starting to build here. So, as I say, I feel the combination speaks to you needing to grow beyond the situation with that Fool card. And for many of you, this can also speak to having a lot of things on the go as well, because there's a lot of, there's more Cups energy, more emotion coming through in this first 2 weeks. But we also have some Wands that seem to be fairly relevant, and of the Pentacles that did come through seem to be around supporting cards of trying to maintain control. So I feel that with the Appreciation card, and again, I'll just reiterate with that Fool card, I felt like it was, that combination is you needing to grow beyond the situation. And for many of you, again, that speaks to a lot of things that are on the go. But again, this is someone who is moving on past that situation with the Fool card, some kind of a change or willing to try a new approach with that Fool card. But we also have the card of Appreciation, and that relates around reminding yourself what you actually appreciate about another person, or remembering to be grateful for the things that are stable in your life despite any current difficulties with another or with a corporate entity. Sometimes we take out our tensions on others that are close to us when we're, in some personal conflict. But whatever the situation that looks to be challenging you in the moment, it was clarified, this Appreciation card with the Empress. So I'm going to also mention this. The card of the Empress is not the only Libra card that's coming through here. There is a lot of energy around a Libra entity. So I really feel there is some kind of Libra that is relevant in that first 2 weeks of March, or is somehow on your mind. And as I said, with the appreciation card and being clarified by the Empress, it could speak to, as I say, Libra energy or a mother image, or it can speak to a union, or, if it's personally or in a business realm, it's just somehow closely connected to your finances, also with that Knight of Pentacles further clarifying twice. So there may be some kind of stagnancy or some kind of, practical matter that needs to be dealt with in regards to an idea for those that are in business, or in regards to, a person, if it's a Libra energy, that needs to be addressed. So I just feel that with that Knight of Pentacles, you're just to keep working on the situation to resolve it. And again, I should mention, because I felt I had a feeling that there was some kind of overwhelm coming through emotionally, that you were feeling more overwhelmed, and that I just feel that you need to remain dedicated to resolve it and push through and keep working, putting in the work, with that Knight of Pentacles as well, because it's going to be worth your effort. The Knight is a stable energy, so it will deliver stable energy as well if you continue to put in the hard work. I feel it's more of a signifier card for you that you just need to stay the course. The card of attachment is where some of you are choosing not to put in the hard work, and you're simply putting or releasing all attachment. So rather than putting in the work, I feel some of you feel like it's a write-off situation, and you would just rather move on from whatever is, giving you some issue. I don't know that it's fully moving on, however, though, because I feel toward the end of that 2-week period in March that it's more that there's just putting distance between. So I feel it's still going to be something that may be erupting again down the road. But for the moment, some of you may be just choosing not to put the hard work in, choosing just to relinquish attachment to certain things or people around you, or any negative thoughts for others. And certainly it's just ridding yourself of unhealthy habits or addictions or anything that's self-indulgent. You just don't want to be repeating emotional patterns or being too rigid, because that really creates a stagnant energy around you, and that serves no real purpose in your life at this time, because there's so much emotion around you. You really want to process that, especially for as I say, the first 2 weeks of March. So with the Three of Wands, this is definitely, there's several cards of optimism here, reason for you to, to feel like things are still progressing. The Three of Wands, again, is an optimistic card, and it's one where you're surrounding yourself with trusted connections. Things are expanding on some level. Again, this could be moving in the direction of business, moving that to the next level here. But I feel for most of you, it's relating around some kind of connection or connections for that first 2 weeks. So I feel, again, that you're moving a connection or a business venture to the next level, but it feels more of a personal connection for many of you. So, but I also feel that once you release toxic patterns, limiting beliefs, or more generally just things that hinder your progress forward, you're going to be able to recognize what it is that you need to do to put yourself back on course. With the Knight of Swords, I don't feel you're going to be remaining idle for long. So I just feel with the Knight of Swords here, it's coming in to clear the way ahead. So I feel it's also a very self-directed energy here. I feel you're very strongly intuitively guided in this first 2 weeks of March, especially. You're very protected. And I just feel you're being guided to be more self-aware. And I say that because it is followed up with the Queen of Cups. So it also can represent someone, close to you or coming in, that is more of a nurturing, emotional, sensitive, romantic type of person. Pisces, that kind of energy as well coming through. But I feel for the most part, it represents someone, because of that combination with the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Cups. To me, it really represents someone not emotionally or physically available in a connection, as as if it were some kind of disruptive energy, like there was an argument or something around the Queen of Wands more specifically, or that Taurus energy, which was clarified by the hostilities card. It just something seems like there's a disruptive energy there, and that there's emotions that are cut off here. Hostility, something building in that first week. But I don't feel it really erupts until the second week here. And again, as I mentioned, I just felt there was more of an independent energy that it just feels like you're deliberately keeping yourself really busy, putting things off, or putting things in the way of a relationship or a partnership, or you're avoiding something or neglecting some kind of connection or discussion that needs to be had. But it just feels like someone's not ready to interact with it, about an issue. So following the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles, clarifying that attachment card, and again with more Swords energy, it just feels like, somebody emotionally is being restricted or impeded in some way, or distance is being put between. So there may be some new beginning here on the horizon, but because again, there were a lot of cards showing some optimistic hope in that direction, but it still feels like there's a lot of confusion. And even though we've got the Ace of Swords coming through and that Knight of Swords, to kind of clear the way in some respect, it just feels like there's some challenges still here to deal with in that first 2 weeks, before there's any real communication. And again, with the Ace of Swords, this can also represent a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or attributes and characteristics of these signs if you're dealing with that specific person. But overall, you need to start taking action toward resolving this conflict and expressing yourself and clearing up that confusion and able to move ahead. So we also have the Thinking Man, and this could be someone coming in as a teacher or as a business associate, or it could be that you're going to undertake some new project that will require you to learn something new. But for some of you, there may be an issue around your resources with the Queen of Pentacles, because that's clarifying. And also it's clarified by the Tower. So, and again, that's also further followed up by the Page of Pentacles. So it just feels like, some of you might be wondering if you're too stretched in some way, whether it's time, finances, energy, to undertake some new learning or hobby or opportunity that, you're trying to consider here. But it's something to do with, I feel, the resources, or maybe there's a person coming in here that wants to present an opportunity, with study or something that would help you to, build on an existing framework of some sort. But with the Nine of Swords, I feel like there's just some kind of stress or anxiety around it. And again, followed up again with, the Page of Swords, it just feels like there's some kind of overburden, even though you're still trying to take action with the nines and with the Swords energy. It just feels like there could also be some kind of contest of wills here because of the cluster of cards with the Broken Heart as well. And again, the stress, the anxiety cards prior to this, and, and the Page of Swords, I just feel that, with that Tower energy as well, it just feels like, maybe the issue around the Broken Heart is dealing with some kind of a partnership that is, being challenged at this time. And again, whether that's business front, personal front, it just feels like there's some very strong emotional energy in the first 2 weeks here. And again, if it is the Queen of Pentacles, that would be somebody who could be more of a caregiver, nurturing, home-loving, security-minded kind of individual. But however it resonates for you. So I say, that with the Broken Heart, this could be, maybe a hobby or a business idea or a new project or something that you want to get off the ground or move ahead on, but there seems to be some kind of conflict. And again, I feel like it's around the resources, or maybe it's, somebody who's in opposition to your idea, to learn, maybe they're indicating that they don't want you to go back to school, or they don't want you to go down into this other hobby or this other path, and it just feels like, you're wanting to move ahead, but there is some kind of obstruction that is, impeding you. It's challenging you with that broken heart energy. So, and with some of the other cards here too. But again, there feels like toward that second week, there's some kind of sadness around whatever that issue is, or that sense of loss. And again, it's further clarified with the Three of Wands. Lots of repeat cards here. Creativity and expansion usually goes along with the threes, but we've got the Three of Wands, the Three of Swords, and I don't really do much in the way of relationship reads to have that reflect as a third party or anything like that. I feel like this is really just career, money, finance, but for some reason there's a lot of relationship energy coming through with this. And again, it probably very strongly is woven into your money situation, whatever this partnership is that seems to be dominating the read. But I really feel like you would like to see some kind of change in regards to this person changing their position, whether this is in business, as I said, friendship or union or partnership, however that relates for you. It's also further clarified with, again, that Three of Swords, which is conflict, argument, difficulties, challenge. And we also have the Emperor, which feels to me that you're trying to remain in control, stoic, emotionally, avoidance, neglecting any kind of confrontation. But I do really feel that you're wanting to, create some kind of a new beginning with both the Ace of Wands and further clarified with the World card. So I feel that you are coming to some kind of a new beginning here, but I just feel that and again, you're inspired to make those changes with the Ace of Wands. And certainly so many cards of new beginnings here and endings that I just feel like there's some kind of healing going on in that first 2 weeks. But I think it's really more about bringing out the issues before you're able to really heal or deal with it. But again, you're completing a cycle here. You're kind of, as I say, I feel this is going to be a little more long-standing into the other months because healing doesn't usually take place in a few days. So but overall, we've got the Knight of Wands. And so I feel that, you're working things out, you're moving forward. Knights are all about action. Still really in the realm of thought here with the Wands and feeling better about your connection, as it moves into the Two of Cups. So again, it looks like toward that last couple of weeks, there was some kind of, and this is really at the very end of that week of the 15th onward to the that'll be from, I did the first week, was where there was some hostilities building. And then by the second week, this is that final card of that second week, which is where the connection of the Two of Cups seems to be more harmonious and balanced. So again, for some of you, it's a reconciliation where you've found some kind of cooperative alliance. And again, whether that's in business or partnership, personally, it just feels like, you might be on more of an even keel to address, solidified resources maybe to support some kind of, new beginning in a project that you're trying to undertake. And now you have that support, but ultimately it is a strong partnership going forward is what I'm trying to get at. Okay, so this is more specific to the money aspects. So it does look like you've got a lot of repeat cards here. So with the Rider-Waite deck here, this is Spirit giving you a message because it's a really strong message that came through, again, from the very beginning of that first week with the Tower moment, with the Ace of Swords, and so many cards of trying to maintain control with the Four of Pentacles. So to me, what's happening here is it just feels like, the message with that Ace of Swords, Tower moment, Emperor, is that you're going through some kind of major change in that first 2 weeks. And I feel it's more of a mental, emotional kind of a change. I don't feel that, I think you might be still trying to gain control, use your intellectual logic, mind to overcome the issue. But I just feel that that's not really the way that you're going to be able to find your resolve. I feel like you're going to have to rely on your intuition and really try to find the balance between the two. So and able to reach this new beginning, with the Ace of Swords, I feel that it's, it's made from an intellectual standpoint, right? But after a period of hurt and confusion. So you're trying to objectively look at the situation, but then I feel because it really did create some kind of a deep wound with that tower. But I feel you're shifting toward personal growth, and that's more of an emotional, reflective energy. And again, with that Ace of Swords, hanging on to things with that Four of Pentacles, so hanging on to the things that are solid around you. But I still feel that you're restructuring your life in some way here, but you're trying to move forward by really hanging on to the things that you feel are stable or create stability for you. And also with that Four of Pentacles, it feels like things are just slowing down, or you're slowing down in that last week to be able to mull it over. In terms of money, for sure, there's no excessive expenditures going on here for that first 2 weeks. You're just moving forward, trying to master some kind of existing pastime or business strategy, that you're consulting others on to move forward, because there were so many threes, and certainly there's also the Three of Pentacles following that. So again, that is further clarified with the Ace of Pentacles. And again, so many new beginnings here, so many opportunities, but they seem to be more, for me, it just feels like they're more on an emotional level that you're challenging and dealing with. But I just feel like you're reaching some realizations about how to go forward and find happiness in your life again. I feel that there might have been some maybe long-standing issues that you were dealing with because you were really clinging to your logical, practical mindset. But I feel, again, that first 2 weeks is really you really trying to look for the things that bring you happiness in life. I feel you're really trying to be competent, as I said, with the Three of Pentacles, and it appears though you have it all together with that combination of those two cards. But again, with the next card out following that as the Ace of Cups, I believe Spirit is really trying to get your attention here with the Judgment card coming up. And further clarified, we've got two cards of the Ace of Cups, so it just feels like it's magnifying the energy here. The Spirit's really trying to say, I'm trying to bring you a gift, and it's an emotional gift. And that is coming through with the Judgment card. And because the Judgment card is, followed up with the King of Cups and the Eight of Cups, to me, this really feels like somebody has passed on, or that there's a father figure or somebody coming through. It could be you or another person that, but it really feels like it's somebody who's passed on, or somebody who is very nurturing and emotionally sensitive. Somebody who is really providing guidance for you. This could have been a very calming person, but, it does speak to somebody who's fairly well-informed or mature with their wisdom. So again, I feel this is, for the most part, for a lot of you anyway, someone who might have passed, and just because it's nestled between the Judgment card, which really stands for a new beginning as well, but it's also, for me, when I look at the card, it really stands out as the angel is very prevalent. And as well with that Eight of Cups, to me, it just feels like there was some kind of a sadness around this figure, with the character depicted as walking away. And I feel that this is someone who has departed, as I said, and is no longer close, because the Eight of Swords is further clarifying that there was some kind of maybe emotional difficulty around this father figure, that was associated with departure. And again, that's even followed up twice. Well, first off, it's followed up with the Eight of Swords. So definitely some anxiety, some issues around, tension and not feeling like you can go forward. But we also have the Seven of Swords that came up twice. Well, it's actually coming up further down, but I'll show you that one as well. So again, with the swords coming up twice, I really feel like there was some kind of, you felt the need to maybe run away from a situation, or you felt like something was being taken from you, and that you were maybe left abandoned or alone to try to deal with this trying time. Or again, for some of you, this might just be revolving around that relationship, earlier on, where there's some kind of a conflict. Could be, again, around a Taurus Libra energy, but certainly there's some kind of a conflict, and I just feel that you were trying to avoid it for the most part. But I just felt you were really just felt like you were on your own. Okay, so we also have the Page of Cups, and the Page of Cups, you know, with that spirit bringing in the good news with the Ace of Cups, you know, bringing you a gift, as well as with the Page of Cups. And it feels like, again, lots of emotional happiness of some sort that's trying to be brought, trying to be gifted to you. You know, whether that's an opportunity for emotional happiness because it's a new job coming through, or a new beginning with a relationship of sorts, or partnership, or some kind of business opportunity that really was satisfying, that you wanted to reach some kind of mutual understanding, you know. But the Queen of Cups can represent you in the reading. Again, Cancer, Scorpio energy, Pisces were very strong energies that came through, Libra, Taurus. And I feel that you're very strongly leaning on your intuition regarding a matter with that Queen of Cups, around an idea that you want to bring to the forefront, or connected to your happiness here on an emotional level. So I feel that it's very relevant for many of you, given the number of cups in this reading, that we're dealing with what you consider to be happiness, and, you know, how you're coping with your emotional state at this time, especially for this first 2 weeks. We also have that clarified with the Empress card, and that again represents another Libra energy, which really strongly resonates throughout this whole reading. So it is really coming through in the reading, and again, it's followed up with, you know, some kind of a conflict around that Empress energy. So maybe there's conflict around the idea that you're trying to bring forward, or trying to create some kind of abundance in your life, but something's preventing you from allowing that, with the Seven of Swords. But it just feels like there's some kind of obstacle in the way, but it does feel like you're figuring it out, because again, there's the Star card that shows up here later. You've also got the card of optimism here with the, you know, the happiness card with the Sun. But again, you've got another Queen of Swords energy here with the Libra. And that's further clarified with the Magician. And that's further clarified with the Two of Pentacles. So it just really feels like you're trying to balance some kind of imbalance in a relationship. And again, this could also come through on a legal front as well, because we have the Justice cards. We also had the King of Swords. But either way, you're finding the balance, and there is a celebration of some sort that's taking place in this first 2 weeks here, because you do actually have you've got. And it could, again, there was so many pages in the reading as well. So I feel like there may be some children involved in this celebration, but definitely there is some kind of reason for you to be hopeful with, you know, the cards of the Star card that will be coming through, as well as the Sun card. And it just feels like there's little moments of hope. But it is a reason for renewed sense of balance in this connection, whatever it is. And again, there might be some kind of event or celebration that you're really working on trying to be happy for the first 2 weeks. So in terms of money, it feels like that relationship, as I said, or that feels like relationships are taking precedence this month. And again, somehow connected to your finances, that you're very emotionally attached to. You know, you're wanting to start something new, and it is more connected to your happiness emotionally. So I feel it's got to be a passion project, or it's got to be other people that are involved that are making it, you know, worthwhile for you. I don't feel that this connection is an intellectual pursuit for you. Sorry. It feels like you're directing your energy in that first 2 weeks, as I said, to you're finding some kind of personal emotional balance, trying to communicate with somebody so that you can bring about just an overall connection before you're able to move forward. I feel that you need to resolve that connection before you're really able to fully move forward. That's what I'm going to say there. We also have the High Priestess, not a card of action in the physical sense, but certainly one of, you know, engaging with your intuition. So it is a card of feeling. Again, lots of feelings for this first 2 week period, I feel, is very much the message of the 2 week period at the beginning of March. So where the Justice card is following up here, again, Libra energy. Again, could speak to a legal matter, but the Justice card is also about clarity and objectivity. And I feel that this is where for a lot of you, this is what you need to be, implementing that clarity, objectivity, but you're being asked to find the balance between the intellect and your emotions to objectively see the situation, look for the new beginning, and that will be with the Ace of Pentacles coming through. Again, so many, this is more of, with the Ace of Pentacles, I don't feel that it's necessarily a reward of some sort that's coming through because it was slow money with the Knight of Pentacles earlier. But it just feels like it represents a new beginning, a new outlook, a new enterprise. It could be an offer of a job or some small reward coming through as well financially. But in terms of, gain, to me, for the most part, it could be maybe it's a gift of some sort or gifts, but it just doesn't feel like a big windfall or anything. That's what I'm trying to get at. And again, this could be a small reward or a grounded offer between partners, business associates. But there's just such a strong Libra energy here. It just feels like, whatever this is, with that Ace of Pentacles, it does represent more of a stable bond. And certainly with the Two of Cups, it just feels like there's a really strong, stable bond here that can't be ignored. And I just feel that you're just more aware of it with the Ace of Pentacles. So we also have the Ten of Wands. So clearly there's been some difficulty and hardship and overwhelm that might have been associated with this Libra energy that needs to be overcome. We've also got, again, the Four of Pentacles. So in this reading, it's really a repeat, and, you're just really trying to maintain control, try to keep your finances balanced. You're trying to really gain some kind of mastery or control over your expenditures. You're collaborating. I just feel you're trying to stay balanced on the financial front overall, but with so much emotion of the cups, I feel your decisions are really rooted in trying to master your emotions first this month versus making money. And I feel that it's going to open up something for you in terms of making money. But I just feel like you're spending so much time in your head emotionally that it's taking away from, or, diffusing some of your energy so it's not as focused. So we've already gone through that Libra energy as well with the Queen of Swords. And we also have the Five of Pentacles. So I just feel, again, that there's some kind of feeling of lack. Might have been around money. Whatever the dispute was, might have been around money. There's some kind of a stalemate. There's some kind of a, shift in perspective that needs to happen here with the Hanged Man. And, with the Hanged Man as well, I mean, it may be on, I don't recall anything coming through in terms of a decision having to be made other than, maybe that with the Star card, there's some kind of a revelation maybe that comes to you to be able to figure out how you're going to remove yourself from that Hanged Man energy. So I feel that, and there were cards as well, I believe, of the Four of Swords that'll come out here as well. So you're retreating, you're pulling back, and you're trying to figure out how to move forward. But again, there's some kind of passive stagnancy with that energy of the Hangman that you really just need to work your way through. And again, with that Emperor energy as well, it felt like there's a real stubbornness on somebody's behalf here too. So we also have the Knight of Cups coming through, and that's bringing through, obviously that you're not seeing the possibilities before you. And again, there's sort of some kind of emotional emptiness, I feel, with the Four of Swords. And certainly it's something that's related to the past. So somebody that you've known for some time, is probably around your business or around a partnership or around some kind of, area that needs to heal. But either way, it just feels like there is something from the past that needs to be addressed. And there's a lot of confusion around it. So we've got the King of Swords. It can speak to, again, that legal entity, as well as with the Justice card previously coming through. So, some of you have to make a decision regarding a matter of a contract, possibly, where you may not be getting everything that you want. And And that's right. I did see the Two of Swords there. So again, that's where we're making the decision here. Again, it could be around a contract, as I said, or some kind of a legal issue, but I just feel like you're not getting everything you want here. You're on the defense with the Seven of Wands. And certainly with the Ten of Swords coming through, clarifying, and that's also followed up by the Five of Cups. So I just feel like you feel, maybe there was some kind of a loss, whether there actually was or not, I mean, it's, I guess, your perspective, but I feel that you feel it was some kind of a loss. And we've also got the King of Pentacles in reverse. So whether this is you or someone else, to me, this King of Pentacles in reverse really looks like there's been some kind of, as I say, an emotional loss to the king, or this entrepreneur, or someone who seems to be maybe obsessed by status or very stubborn kind of energy. So whoever this is, it just feels like there's a lot of rigidity coming through here, and it is revolving around money or around this person's happiness. So, overall, there's something that needs to be worked through there, but there is going to be an end to that. There's going to be some way through. There's going to be a new beginning with so many cards of beginnings and endings here, and certainly on the emotional front is where it looks like it's revolving around with the World card as well. So some of you could also be gaining some recognition for something. You're certainly highlighted here because, with the Sun card as well as the Star card and the Two Kings, and as well with that the three of Pentacles, to me, it can indicate that you may be getting help from other professionals regarding a matter. For others, it may be an authority or a wealthy partner unwilling to compromise about money, and someone has to make a decision, with that Two of Swords and the King of Pentacles in reverse. But there's a lot of cards of new beginnings, and certainly more on the emotional front. But there's definitely a reason for change to break that stalemate of the Hanged Man and the conflict toward the latter part of the second week. So again, you're pulling back and you're retreating here. And this is where I feel the sacrifice is being made. You feel like you're taking some kind of a loss with the Four of Cups. Again, that Hanged Man is coming through again. And certainly there is conflict at the end of the month in terms of you feeling some kind of a loss, with, as again, further clarified with the Five of Swords and that Five of Cups energy coming through. So a lot of fives here. So I just feel like you're breaking away from some kind of negative energy all around in that first 2 weeks. And I really feel like you're going into healing mode because we've got two cards that came out. They both fell out together. I merged the two decks, my Rider-Waite decks. So we've got two cards of again, I feel one of them is actually letting you know that this is spirit coming through to protect you during this time. It's clearly a difficult time, but it's also the card of healing and, protection, and certainly one of being patient. So, if it doesn't all resolve in that first 2 weeks, which I suspect that it wouldn't, you're going to be dealing with that healing aspect a little further out. Some of you may be a little faster, and others it may be a little bit slower. It takes the time it takes, but there is some kind of a sacrifice that'll have to be made on someone's part, whether that's to compromise or to share a truth with that Star card and be more optimistic about an emotional letdown, and with that clarifying Five of Cups, I feel there's some kind of separation again with that Four of Swords regarding the issue or, between parties. But time away from the situation will help you to see more objectively. So by month's end, I shouldn't say full end, but just by the end of that second week, there's double confirmation, as I said, coming through with the Temperance card that you may have to be patient as you go through this healing process. But Spirit is very much connected to you at this time and is going to be giving you that special gift, and it'll help you to heal your emotional space. So that's what I have for you, Pisces. Keep moving forward, stay safe, and we will talk to you in April.